What was the cancellation like? Like, what were the tweets that got you, and how was this time period of your life?
That time period was hard as hell because, like I said, like I just had my baby, just got out the fucking NICU for, you know, it wasn't doing too well. Spent a week in the NICU. You know what I'm saying? He was fighting for his life.
Things are good now.
Not fight. Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Not fighting for his life, but without the NICU, he wouldn't be here. But so, and then, the day my baby was born, everything shut down. So like the hospitals were, you know, then there was that whole COVID craze.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
The day of, wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because my girl, she found out she was pregnant basically as COVID started. So I had like a 9-month window, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So what, did people start digging through old tweets or what?
Yeah. So, I mean, and the funny thing is it's the same tweets that I left up from when I got kind of canceled in 2017. You know what I'm saying? It was just old ass tweets from 45 years ago. And most of them that like the best ones that, you know, really was the shock value was when this is literally from 14, 15, 16 years ago when I was like watching it was out of context. I was watching a comedy special. And I was just tweeting my favorite jokes. You know what I'm saying? So Anthony Jeselnik got me canceled. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Andrew Santino got me canceled. No,
Really?
Yeah. So, but at the same time, I had an old DJ that had been already fired 5 or 6 years ago. That I canceled him privately.
So
I fired him.
You found out about him doing some shady stuff? Or?
Yeah. That he got the ball rolling like a mother. It was the biggest domino effect in Minnesota music history. And it started so small, and this dude was right in the middle of it, and it was started with one person, and then it just caught fire just like our city did at the same time. People were at home, they were desperate, they were alone, and no one was really trying to make anybody better. They were just trying to hurt everybody was just trying to hurt everybody.
I remember during that initial 2020, the summer of fire or whatever they call it now, that was definitely one of the few times in my life where I was like, I'm not tweeting. I need to stay away from whatever the is going on right now. Like nobody wants to hear a white guy say anything right now, and nobody wants to hear a white guy say anything critical or funny or, you know, I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to fall back for a few months.
And I would have loved to have done that, bro. Yeah. And I was doing that, especially with the George Floyd shit, man. I was really invested in that shit and trying to become a better man. Thinking about what being a white man means in my city, growing up with all my friends and my close loved ones who are black, listening to them. My house was right by there, so I would host, you know, we'd be in a protest and we'd come back and clean out people's eyes from smoke and shit like that. And I was not sleeping already, you know what I'm saying? And then this shit comes up, and it was like, it was like crazy. So those tweets, you know, if they first came after my old DJ that I already way been separated from and hadn't spoken to in 5 years. And then they were like, well, look at this dude. And so with what you're doing, talking about not tweeting or whatever, like I was obnoxious. I probably still am. Battle rapping ass motherfucker, shock value type of dude out of Minneapolis. And I was easy target. Wow, that's the poster boy, man. I haven't liked that dude for so long. This is my opportunity to go get this motherfucker. So, you know,
as good things happen to you in your life, and as you become successful, it's also like filling up this meter. Like it's a fighting game, and on the side there's a meter that's filling up, and it's everybody else's resentment about you becoming succul. And at a certain point, once you've taken enough W's, boom.
Yeah, and you at the top, homeboy.
Come on,
way up there,
I know all about this. But no, it's funny you say 2017, it happened as well, and then it just happened again worse in 2020.
I left the tweets up.
That's how it works, is that they chill out for a while, and then it becomes new again. Yeah.
And so back then I was like, okay, I'm not going to run away from, I'll leave those tweets up, and then 2020, it was even worse. And then then
so what, like the label dropped
The label dropped me in the middle of the night.
At the time? You don't want to cloud them up? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were cool.
But did they like even seem like they actually felt like you were a person, or it was like they were just under mad pressure from the peanut gallery?
Peanut gallery.
Yeah.
Very, you know, like, look, when it all came said and done, there never was no fucking allegation.
Right.
Now one motherfucking person, you know what I'm saying? Like no history of anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, little did they know, a lot of people, a lot of these righteous rappers and everybody behind the scenes were were doing the backpack hip hop, I'm woke type of shit, and I was wilding out in my music, but they were doing sex, drugs, rock and roll. I was staying at the crib, like minding my own business, hustling, you know? So then, you know, I'm talking to my label, what's going on over here, da-da-da, how y'all feeling? They were getting canceled too, everywhere, you know? And then I'm calling them, boom, nothing. They ain't even responding. We try to reach out for them for like 2 or 3 straight days. They're not responding. This is my management and my record label and my management.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So we were like, okay, we know what this is.
Right.
You know? So I think they were hoping that I'd be the poster boy, you know, and they came out with the
they put out a statement?
A statement in the middle of the night at like 2 a.m., like thinking that maybe the algorithm would push it up. I don't know what the they were thinking about with this 2 a.m. shit.
Wow.
And it was like,
but that's what like real companies do. You got bad news for the stock market, you drop it on Friday at 5 p.m. or whatever, and then ideally it doesn't.
But that shit blew the fuck.
And still, yeah.
I was trying hard to get press, bro. It was national news. I was in the national news. Misogyny. I made the fucking paper, the Star Tribune. You know what I'm saying? My aunts are calling, what's going on with, you know, to call my mama up, like, what's, you know, like, it was crazy. And then that statement didn't really help because it was talking about like, what was the words? Like, not only misogyny, but like violence against women and shit like that.
Violence has a very blurry definition at this point. This conversation's violence.
Yeah, violent words or whatever. But
yeah, I'm so glad we're in 2024 where we can laugh at that shit.
Yeah.
But how did you get through it? Because I'm assuming you were depressed, probably going through a lot of.
I was already not sleeping. Yeah, it was tough because I had never seen nothing like it. I didn't know how to react to it. And I was trying to take as much accountability as I can to become better anyways, because I was going through that shit with George Floyd.
But you're not saying the shit that they want you to say because they...
There ain't nothing you can fucking say besides...
And you're like, it was a joke. And nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah.
It's just like jokes don't exist. Once they decide they're going to cancel you, the idea of like, it was a joke doesn't fucking work.
Or that was 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Like the time was crazy.
Everyone wants to act like...
way different.
Like the internet now is exactly like the internet back in the day.
14, no, now it would be 15, 16 years ago. Like everybody, one dude was like, man, I was really mad at you, but then I looked at my shit from then. I was just dropping the F word like crazy. I'm like, yeah, bro. Yeah, glow. You know, but the crazy thing was, it was probably the biggest roller coaster ride of my life was that delayed? They just laughed at my glow line.
They probably just laughed, yeah.
The roller coaster ride from being canceled, and I didn't even know because it was after I couldn't tour anymore. The money was low. You know, I was in the hood. There was, I didn't know if I could stay there anymore because, how things were burning down. To 5 months after that, I was at the very top of the Billboard charts.
So
5 months after they dropped me,
yeah,
I was at the top of the Billboard charts, 100% independent released.
To what do you credit that?
I think my fans. I think they deserve all the
You
fucking
felt
credit.
like they largely wrote for you?
Bro, when that statement came out, my merch store went, wow, just fucking went crazy. Wow. We was just flipping anything we could make to sell. They were supporting like crazy.
Really?
A lot of people read that shit and they were like, really? Like a lot of people saw through that shit.
Do you think the label caught wind of that or felt that they're like, oh, maybe we fucked up? Or do you think that they were just all in on it at that point? All in on the cancellation of you.
You'd have to ask. I think they're still, they were dealing with some other cancellations on the side, but
really?
I mean, obviously they like to make money because in the statement they were like, we didn't vet this guy, we didn't vet his music. Might have been the first record label in the history of the world that dropped someone for the content they released. They released me they were like, the content is hurtful and da-da-da. I'm like, that was that's your content. You know what I'm saying? Like you released that shit. I didn't release it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so they said that, but then afterwards I was like, let me buy those records off you then. They still profit into those records to this day.
Oh, they didn't want to sell them?
Nah. They're making money off those records.
Yeah.
Off of, what they said was violence or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, still would like those records back, but
definitely. But man, that's dope to hear that your fan base like rallied around you. Yeah.
It was the best. It was I can just spin around the fucking globe and pinpoint the exact moment that was the best moment in my career was that moment. I was freed up. I could release anything that I wanted. I already had a management team with my best friends. We just we didn't need a label. We shouldn't have, so we were free to do anything we wanted. Fan base came and rallied like crazy. I was in the press like crazy. Now, motherfucker, everyone's talking about me. I'm in the newspaper. And then when they figure it out, they're like, oh, what was it? What was it? Like, oh, wait, nothing. He didn't do nothing. Like, people came. It was like crazy. So Powderhorn Sweets was at the top of the Billboard charts. And then my follow-up record, Horse, even higher on the Billboard charts, #2 rap record in the world.
Well, it must have felt great.
Yeah.